you. Anytime you are here, I feel that the words will go out. Without you, almost everything that we are doing may not be known to the public. It's going to be a very brief session, and it's concerning the ban on sachet alcohol and responding in particular to publications in the Punch and Vanguard newspapers, as well as Arise News and social media. Like I said, it's going to be very brief. On February 1, 2024, NAFDAC started the enforcement.
Recording in progress.
On February 1, 2024, NAFDAC started the enforcement of the ban on alcohol sold in sachet or in less than 200 ml PET bottles after a 5-year moratorium that the then Honorable Minister of Health, Professor Isaac Folorunsho Adewale, gave the manufacturers to phase out the two package types, that is, sachet and less than 200 ml PET bottles. Those are the two package types that we gave 5-year moratorium to the manufacturers in 2018 to phase out. The moratorium document was signed in December 2018 by the Distillers and Blenders Association of Nigeria, DBAN, and the Association of Food, Beverages and Tobacco Employees, AFBTE, with Ministry of Health. The moratorium was signed with the Ministry of Health, NAFDAC, and the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, FCCPC. Soon after the enforcement, in February 1, 2024, which came again 5 years after the moratorium, the House Committee on Food and Drug Administration advised that the agency should suspend the ban. It was made known at the time, however, that the agency will have to await a decision by the Ministry of Health and Social Welfare on the matter, since the agency was essentially enforcing a ministerial directive. On Thursday, June 13, 2024, last week, the Speaker of the House of Representatives called for a meeting with the Director General, myself, at the Speaker's office. The Speaker was represented by the Chief of Staff, Professor Jake Dan Azumi. Present at the meeting were the Chair of the House Committee on Food and Drug Administration, Honorable Mrs. Regina Akume, the Deputy Chair of the House Committee on Food and Drug Administration, Honorable Uche Okonkwo. Also present are Honorable Chinedu Oga and Honorable Philip Agbese. Accompanying me to that meeting was NAFDAC Director of FCT, Mr. Abdul Salam Uzigis. The agency was again advised to suspend the ban, and I responded by saying that it is a ministerial directive and that I had not received that directive by the coordinating minister to suspend the ban. The Speaker's representative at the meeting, Professor Dan Azumi, and the committee chair, Honorable Mrs. Akume, then said that the coordinating minister of Health and Social Welfare should write a memo to the Speaker and House Committee. Professor Dan Azumi said that the discussion will continue in July after the House returns from recess. Following the meeting, I reported the above outcome from the meeting to both the coordinating ministers of health and social welfare, Professor Mohammed Ali Pate, and the coordinating minister of state for health and social welfare, Dr. Tunji Alausa. That is it with the ban on sachet alcohol. There was also in the same publication about ban on codeine that NAFDAC has returned, has unbanned the codeine. I'm going to speak just a little bit about that. On May 1st, 2018, the then Minister of Health, Professor Isaac Folorunsho Adewale, placed a ban on codeine syrup because of a documentary by the British Broadcasting Corporation, BBC, on poor distribution of the codeine syrup, and also the abuse thereof. Codeine containing syrup remained banned since that time. In fact, the federal government compensated the manufacturers of the syrup that did not abuse the distribution. NAFDAC has never discussed the removal of the ban. NAFDAC has never discussed the removal of the ban, meaning the ban is still in place. Therefore, the publication that said that NAFDAC has removed the ban is inaccurate and it is false. That needs to be clarified, that we did not ban on codeine. The ban on codeine stays, and that will be the end of the presentation. Thank you very much. The ban on codeine took place 2018, May 1st, and it is codeine containing syrup that our children were abusing, mothers were selling at that point. That was about 6 years ago. That ban was for codeine containing syrup. The ban is still in place. The ban has not been removed. What the newspaper said is that NAFDAC has gone back because there's a new minister in town that has unbanned the ban. There is no minister that has talked anything about the ban on codeine. So, the ban on codeine containing syrup remains so. I hope that is clear. Now, for the sachet alcohol, there was a 5-year moratorium, meaning we gave opportunity for companies to readjust their manufacturing, their finances and whatnot, to phase out 2 types of packages: sachet alcohol and PET bottles that are less than 200 ml. That moratorium was signed in December 2018. So when you count forward 5 years from December 2018, it took us to January 2024. After that, we started enforcement. I hope you understand now. If not because we have the regulation that we are having, or we've had rather, on sachet water, we will have had a lot of problems in Nigeria. But when you are controlling a market, you will always see people want to do shortcuts, okay? And it may not be directly related to the sachet water, that we control. It may just be poor hygiene, sanitation, and in the environment. There are many things in our system that could cause cholera. Most people don't have water. They fetch water. They go and fetch water. And this is very true of almost all our families, extended families. When you use toilet, for example, people do tamba. You have to wash almost 15 minutes continuously to remove the germs. How many people have water running 15 minutes continuously? So it's a pity that we have the outbreak of cholera. It may be just sanitation. It may also be people selling bad water. We close shops, we close plants almost every day. So it may be due to many reasons, but our environment, the fact that we don't have pipe-borne water, people manage water when they're not supposed to manage it, can cause cholera. I hope I answer your question. When you cook food and you put it in the fridge for more than 3 days, refrigerator, not freezer, because somebody called me yesterday, oh, we shouldn't keep food in the freezer for more than 3 days. No, you can keep food in the freezer for 6 months if you have continuous electricity. If not, because if there is power failure, you defreeze and freeze, you defreeze and freeze. That is a shortcut for spoilage, But for cooked food that you put in the freezer, it shouldn't be more than 3 days. If it's going to second day or something, or third day, you have to put it on the stove and heat it up. If not, and heat it up well, I hope I answered your question, but it is not in the freezer for 3 days. It is in the freezer, it can stay for months if the electricity is stable.